Hello, my name is Z, and today I'm showing you the Shenlong Raiment build for the Monk, patch 2.4.2 Season 7, as I've been showing you builds before. So, this is the gear that you need to be wearing. You need to be using 5 pieces of the Raiment of the Thousand Storms, and then the other part of the namesake for the build is Shenlong's Spirit, which is the 2 fists. Now, let's start with the raiment set. The head is Mask of the Searing Sky, and I do not have an ancient version, but you can see the 2, 4, and 6 set. Your spirit generators have 25% increased attack speed and 100% increased damage. And this is good because your main attack is a spirit generator. So the faster you're hitting, the faster you're generating that spirit. And the extra damage is just icing on the cake. Dashing Strike spends 75 spirit, but refunds a charge when it does. So when you're in battle and you're using Dashing Strike every 6 seconds, as long as you have spirit, it won't even use the 2 stacks of the Dashing Spirit or Dashing Strike. So you can technically do it indefinitely as long as you're generating enough spirit. And then the 6 set bonus is your spirit generators increase the weapon damage of Dashing Strike to 12,500% for 6 seconds, and vice versa. Dashing Strike increases the damage of your spirit generators by 1,250% for 6 seconds. So, as you can see, the spirit generator is going to be our absolute damage dealer. So you're having a 100% increase, 25% increase attack speed, and then if I dash, I get 6 seconds of 1,250% on top of all that. So it gets quite damaging. For my shoulders, the Cyclone Strike reduces your damage taken by 50%, and that's a perfect roll on that skill. And why that's good is because Cyclone Strike is part of the build skills because it pulls everybody right up on you. So you can use your Spirit Generator, Crippling Wave, and this is kind of interchangeable. I'll get into that in a minute. For my 3rd set that I'm using, the Endless Walk. And in my Endless Walk, I have Simplicity Strength. That makes the damage of my primary skill, which is the Spirit Generator, the Crippling Wave, increased by 56% at rank 62, and it also lets me heal for 4% of my max health every time I hit somebody, so that keeps me alive. Your spirit generators reduce your damage taken by 36%. For my bracer wrists, that helps considering I'm always using my spirit generators. It helps me stay alive. You know, the gloves, chest, pants, and legs, feet are all my 5 pieces for the raiment set. The belt is just there for right now. It helps me run faster when I'm just trying to like farm stuff, and it's an ancient, so it's not too bad, but it's not best in slot. You could probably use like a witching hour or something that gives you a lot of damage. String of ears if you want to have more survivability, something like that. So here's the Compass Rose off the Endless Walk set, and I have Bane of the Trapped in it. Again, the gem is only rank 39, but every time that they're slowed down, which is any time they're standing near me, which is always because I pull them in, they get increased damage, which is great. And then I have Bane of the Stricken because this is a big AoE build. Again, with AoE builds, they struggle with single target damage. So this will help with the single target damage, and also against Rift Guardians who can be your downfall in a tough Greater Rift. Now let's look at the fists. The fists are the second part of the namesake for the build, Shenlong's Spirit. Now these 2 fists combined will give your spirit generators increased damage by 1.5% for each point of spirit you have. So that can stack for as much as spirit is in your pool to max out at, 1.5% extra damage for every single point. When reaching your max spirit, however, all your damage is increased by 150%, but you no longer passively regenerate spirit, and 65 of it per second is sucked away until it hits 0. So this is why, amongst other reasons, why you need to have a massive amount of spirit regeneration. So I have 328 spirit. It doesn't take me long to fill it up. Even if I'm just punching somebody I'll generate a decent amount. It generates 12 per attack. But this is where it gets interesting. For the, let's look at our skills here. For the crippling wave, we'll just start from the top. A lot of people use this one, the mangle. It increases the damage to 255% as fire as opposed to 155. It is more damaging, but I've noticed a couple people using tsunami, and what this does is it makes the range bigger. So I'm hitting more people at once, and it'll freeze the enemies for a second. So it actually makes me stay alive. So if I sacrifice a little bit of damage for a little bit of survivability and hitting a massive amount of guys, it's kind of like an interchangeable thing. It's kind of whatever you want. With Dashing Strike, we're taking Radiance. This will increase attack speed for 4 seconds by 15% after I use it. And keep in mind, I'm using it at least every 6 seconds. So this keeps my attack speed up very high. Breath of Heaven, we are going with Infused with Light. And this makes me gain an additional 14 spirit from spirit generating attacks, Crippling Wave, for 5 seconds. And it also heals me for a little bit, but I don't really care about that. 14. So I have 12 and 14. That's quite a substantial amount of spirit generation every time I hit somebody. Cyclone Strike. This will pull everybody with the implosion. It increases the distance to 34 yards, but it pulls everybody right to me. And it deals damage, but that's negligible. It's just a utility skill. I'm using Mantra of Salvation with the Agility rune. And this will give me 35% dodge chance. It helps me stay alive. You and nearby allies gain an additional 20% increased resistance to all elements for 3 seconds when I activate it. And its passive is just 20% increased resistance to all elements, as well as that 35% dodge rate. And then finally, for Epiphany, you're going to use Desert Shroud. This reduces your damage taken by 50%, which will again keep you alive. And this increases my spirit regeneration per second by 20. And it enables me to dash to my targets instantly for 15 seconds. The regeneration for the spirit will slow down Shenlong's fists from sucking away your high maxed out spirit with the damage boost. So this, coupled with the Breath of Heaven increasing the generation and how fast you're going to be hitting people, it will help you keep that spirit as high as possible, especially if you have to use your Mantra of Salvation and Cyclone Strike in order to keep everybody close and your resistance is high. I mean, they're 50 apiece, and I only have 328, so it can go pretty quick. I actually added 50 for my max spirit, which I never add resources on my characters, but because this build is based off of the more spirit you have, the more damage you deal, that was a shoo-in for me. And the rest is pretty much the same. Really focus on cooldown reduction because it's not totally important. My cooldowns are pretty quick. The only one that takes a while is Epiphany, but everything else is just spirit cost or 15 seconds. Dash is charged or based off my spirit, and then my crippling wave has no cooldown at all. For the passives, I'm using Harmony. 40% of my single elemental resistances from items is instead increased. It increases my resistance to everything. So I'm getting extra resistances to all the elements. So that's a great one. Reducing all my cooldowns by 20% with Beacon of Yatar. Dealing damage to enemies above 75% life increases your attack speed by 30% for 4 seconds, which is great because, like I said, more attack speed, more generation, more damage, more. It's all good. You need to be attacking extremely fast. And this build attacks like a fucking bat out of hell. I'm telling you, you will see. And then Alacrity increases attack speed of spirit generators by 15%. It makes me just attack faster all the time. So in Kanai's Cube, I have Flying Dragon, which is a chance to double my attack speed when attacking. And Depth Diggers, which makes my primary skills, my Crippling Wave, deal 100% more damage. And then I have Ring of Royal Grandeur because I only have a 5-piece for the 6th set on Raiment. So let's see if I can get this to proc for you. I will have it start with the base speed. Once it procs Flying Dragon, I will dash and it will go even faster. Alright, do you see how fast this is? Crippling Wave is not a fast attack. That's pretty crazy. So now that you've seen how fast the character can attack, let's go quickly just show you like in practice with some mobs. Now keep in mind, I am pretty terrible with this character because it's really fast, especially with Epiphany popped and your speed going. So this is what it looks like when I'm attacking people without buffing anything. Then this is what it's like when I am buffed with dashing strike and such. As you can see, it moves very, very fast. Sorry if I don't talk a lot. I've been playing the Witch Doctor a lot, so I don't remember exactly how I was running the rotation. But you can see it doesn't deal a lot of damage, mine at least, but it's not bad. This is only on Torment 10 right now, in case you were wondering. But I mean, I can cut through them no problem, and they're not killing me. But Torment 13 is a little slower. But if you have a properly geared and leveled and all that kind of shit monk, you can do a fuckload of damage. And I've seen some very, very strong monks. They are quite substantial. But yeah, this character moves really, really fucking fast. Especially with Epiphany on, you just teleport to people, and you're in their face. You just got to remember to keep up your dashing strike to keep that boost up, and you got to keep. You'll see right here. See how it's sucking away my spirit? So you have to be careful, because if you get to no spirit, you can't do your Cyclone Strike. You might not have enough stacks of dashing strike to evade if you're getting overwhelmed. You have to pay attention with this build. It's like the complete opposite of the Witch Doctor build. But that's the general idea. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the build. Invitations are still open for my clan if you want. Just leave me a comment or a message if you really want to get in and you can't find me. But I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Later.